You know what? What's up, YouTube? I need an intro, YouTube, because doing this every day just don't look sweet or fun. So I need to figure out how to get my intro in to the video, and that way I can start my videos with an intro instead of doing it this way that I'm doing. But today, YouTube, I'm going to have a discussion with you guys about Black Lightning Season 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what I liked about Black Lightning and what I did not like about Black Lightning Season 1. And how the discussion is going to go is there's not going to be overall parts of character breakdown one by one. It's just going to be an overarching thing. So let's get into what I actually did like about Black Lightning Season 2. And the first thing I liked about Season 1 of Black Lightning was the family orientation of the characters. I liked how they put family first in Black Lightning, because when you do a black film or a black anything, one of the main things that they always have in TV shows, movies, or whatever is that the black character is always having that player mentality and always talking to girls, and you never really see them getting the girl. Like, they'll get the number, but you don't really see them with the girl or whatever. So I actually like that they put the family orientation first, because I think that's important. I also have like the development of Jennifer Pierce. I like that for a 16-year-old girl, she was authentic, because of the fact that when you're 16, you don't really know what you want. You don't know what you want to be. You don't know who you want to be. And for her to develop powers the way that she did, I actually like that. Now, some people probably didn't like the fact that she didn't want her powers and felt like she would probably be too reckless. My answer in response to that would be that 16-year-old kids in general are reckless. Teenagers in general are reckless. Teenagers in general think they know everything. Teenagers in general do stuff that may get on adults' nerves. But one thing that I think she has is that because she has powers, it makes it 10 times worse. Because if she did something like hurt somebody by using her powers, that's like a bad thing. So I highlight that. Also, like the other sister, Anissa, I liked her character. And her characters actually have some semblance of the comic book character. And her power is actually density control. For all those who don't know, it's density control. So that's why when she holds her breath, that she either can be strong or she could go through walls and whatnot. But the one thing that I actually liked the most, not character, but just one thing I liked, were the villains. They didn't do a villain of the week format like the other CW shows, and the episodes are actually short. Instead of it being 23 episodes, they did 13 episodes. I actually liked those two parts to it, because when you do villains of the week, it can be a little tedious as far as it has nothing to do with the storyline, and they'll throw in a bad guy that's just useless, and it's like, what was the point of this episode? So sometimes you might have 2-3 plots of a pointless episode that has nothing to do with the overarching conflict of the big bad. So I like the fact that they had 2 different big bads in one setting. Even though for the most part, black heroes always use more than one villain for black heroes, because black heroes in general don't have a lot of bad guys that people know about. So like Tobias and the organization was a good fit for what they're doing. And the fact that Tobias got away is actually something a little different too. And I actually like that he got away, because now it brings more story. Like, okay, what is Tobias going to do? What is this character going to do? Now, I wonder what they're going to do with Lala, because they seem to have made him somewhat of the tattoo man at one point, but then decided not to make the tattoo man. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. Hopefully, for me, I hope he's still alive, because I think he's a really good character, and I think that they should explore explore it more. I also want to just say that from what I've read about season 2 of Black Lightning is that it's going to be darker and grittier, and that they're going to show the dark side to superpowers. I actually like that. I'm explain why I like that. Because when you have superpowers, there's always pros and cons to having superpower. It's almost like it can be called what the word I'm looking for? He-cat. No, that's not the word. Anyway, the point I'm making is that it could be almost like a drug to have superpowers. And for Lynn, that can be something that we can explore, because at one point she felt that Jefferson Pierce had an addiction to his powers. And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But being addicted to saving people, that is like some of a staple to superheroism. He Kane, that's what I was thinking of. He Kane or Hero Kane. That's what I was thinking of, the word I was thinking of, but that's a separate thing. Now, what I did not like about season 1 was the fact that it's overarchingly too much grounded, and it's forgetting that it's somewhat of a superhero TV show, and that it's okay to add in more heroes or more superpower beings instead of just keeping it all the way grounded where Jefferson Pierce, Thunder and Lightning are just going to be fighting other just regular people, because that kind of doesn't make sense, and it can be a little tedious on that part where you're like, why are they just fighting people without superpowers? So I think that's one of the main things, and this is something about black heroes that's always happened, and black heroes in general, not just Black Lightning, but in general, people have a tendency to forget, like writers and people who make these movies forget that these are still superheroes with superpowers. They always want to do movements and always want to put too much realism, and that's what separates them from the white counterpart. So I'm hoping with season 2 they add in maybe another hero like Metamorpho or something for season 2. I doubt that they're going to do it, because they're trying to make it dark and gritty for season 2, which is fine. The other thing I didn't like is the fact that Cyanide, I really didn't understand her character. I mean, maybe she was supposed to be the quiet assassin or something. I'm not sure. I thought she was kind of pointless in the whole entire season. I thought she was just like a pointless aspect to Tobias Wells' army, or whatever you want to call it. I also did not like Anissa and the holding of the breath. I didn't really like that too much, because I thought it was stupid. Like, why you gotta hold your breath to use your powers? I mean, again, I understand why they put that in there, but still, I still thought that they could have done like a better job at having her utilize her power instead of just holding her breath to utilize it. Overall, like I said, season 1 is very great. I didn't really have a lot of dislikes about season 1. Those are like the only 2 dislikes. I have more compliments for Black Lightning season 1 than non-compliments, but I will say that I can't wait for season 2, just because the dark grittiness, like I said, is cool, but I'm hoping that they put more heroes, more villains, but again, keep it the way they have it, because again, the villain of the week type thing is, I agree, don't do that. As far as a crossover with the Arrowverse, I would say I don't know, because it just seems weird if they do crossover. Overall, these CW shows, because they're separating the universes, is kind of weird, and it kind of seems stupid, because then it may lose its flair or something. But all in all, I'm going to let you guys go. I had a little discussion. It wasn't too much or too major what I had to say. But peace out, you guys.